Yo, family, young gents, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another audio episode of the Gentleman's Podcast. It's your host, the professional yapper himself, Nas the Innovator. I think it's like they fall in a hiatus, by the way, but I don't know if y'all, last episode, I really talked about my whole, upbringing in the basketball world and cut short. I mean, not really cut short, but how I know basketball. I could have took basketball serious if I made it my main sport, but I don't know. Shit like that. It just ain't happen how it should have. How it happened how it did for a reason, but it didn't happen how it could have happened type shit. But I'm glad everything happened type shit. But listening between that basketball story, in and out throughout the story, I said multiple times where, but it made it sound like I was just skipping from year to year, and that's because football was filling in those times in between then type shit. So that's what we pick off on the football story. First off, I just want to say, y'all can find all videos on YouTube and all audios on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, things of that nature. But yeah. Okay, so my football journey, I don't even know if y'all recall my basketball story. 7th grade, when they told us we wasn't going to have a 7th and 8th grade team that year, that's when I went to go play football. But see, 7th grade, so I started playing football I think in the middle of 7th grade, while school was in class. I mean, our school was, active. I had to go to school after practice. I had to go to practice right after school and shit. Okay, so let me tell it from the beginning. Okay, so basically, I think the summer of 6th grade going into 7th, I was in summer camp at this park district called Rainbow Beach, of course they had sports teams and shit like that. So, we'd go up there we was all old enough to where we understand what's going on, the whole concept of playing sports, being an athlete, things of that nature. So everybody at this point know, a little bit about the sports, or at least know a little bit on how to play and shit, right? So like I told y'all, at this time, all up until this point, I've already been playing basketball. So I get to, especially when I'm in camp and shit. Okay, so I wasn't in camp summer camp wasn't going while we was throughout the school. I mean, while it was throughout the school year of 7th grade type shit. But being from already being in there, the summer prior, or 2 summers prior to that, they already knew who I was up there and shit. And my cousin just started going up there to, for camp and stuff the summer before. So we all up there after school and shit. And they had a football team. My cousin was on the football team. At this point, that's just in 7th grade. I haven't even thought about playing football, none of that. I was a straight hoop at this point. So my cousin, I guess his pops was one of the coaches at the his pops was one of the coaches at the park district, for their football team. And I ain't the initial team wasn't top tier. They had to do something. They had some work to do. So, wasn't me just being there, my cousin was like, y'all should play football type shit. And then his daddy was like, yeah, y'all can play football. Y'all can play football with Caleb type shit, football with Cuz type shit. And I was like, it's not something I'll shoot down immediately. It's something I'll be into type shit. So we get into we so like a week later or like the next day. No, we had to give ourselves time to get situated. Like we had to give ourselves we had to get time to get cleats and like shit like that. That was really it, just cleats, really it. Everything else came handed to us, bro. But yeah, so we I didn't start off in 7th grade. I think I was 14 or some shit, or 13, finna be 14, something like that. Somewhere around the age where I wasn't playing JV. I was not playing JV. I went straight. When I joined, I went straight to varsity, and okay, boom. So I joined the whole Rainbow Six team, right? And we was starting to look nice. I ain't gonna lie. They already had the quarterback, which I don't know his name is. Our quarterback name when I was in 7th grade name was Chris. Y'all gotta remember that name because he gonna come in later on in the football story too. So it's not mind blowing crazy, but it's crazy to see how everybody start and then how everybody come together somehow, some way, interact with each other somehow, some way, type shit. But yeah. So what was I saying? So when we joined, we was looking nice when we started to join and shit. Yeah, but the recruiting process only started with us, type shit. With me and my little brother being brought to the team. My little brother. Now, see, the thing with my little brother was he was a dog for real, but I think he was only a dog for JV. When they tried to boost him up to our team, to varsity with us, he didn't want to play type shit. Because we told them we didn't tell him nothing. They told him all he got to do is survive a bull in the ring. And now this is when bull in the ring was legal. Football practices, things of that nature. So he had to practice in order for him to get on varsity. To see if he was able to really be on varsity. We're gonna put him through the ring. Bull in the ring. The bull in the ring, for those who don't know, is the whole football team circle up around somebody, uncircle up, and then the one person get in the middle, and he gotta shuffle around it circles the whole time until the coach calls somebody number, and whoever number he called, you gotta go whack that nigga, or he gotta whack you type shit. Somebody gotta whack somebody type shit. And that was it later on got banned later on as years went on, because I guess that shit got dangerous. That in the Oklahoma drill, bro. I'm glad I'm glad we was able to experience the Oklahoma drill and things like that. But yeah, so Lil Bro joined the team, but he was the quarterback on. He was the quarterback on the running back on JV or some shit. At this time, okay, so my cousin was a wide receiver type shit. He was the wide out, and when I came in, I was I already had natural nigga, I could catch naturally and shit like that. So I was playing wide out. I was playing wide out on the other side type shit. So then, they got to recruiting this shit. I get to building my name up, nigga Nas a dog type shit, things of that nature. Then it comes to we got a hit. And what's insane about this is when I was playing defense at this time, I was playing outside linebacker. So I'm 7th grade playing outside linebacker type shit. Outside linebacker, a little bit of DN, which is, now that I'm thinking about it, it's insane because that's gonna come in later on in the story too. So yeah, I was playing DN and things of that nature. I was playing wide receiver and DN type shit. And then after before our first a week, 2 weeks before our first official game, I missed a whole week practice because I stayed. I didn't even decide. I ended up spending a weekend at my daddy's house, and it turned into a whole week, and nigga ain't want to take me to practice for some reason. So but I guess it worked out because the nigga brought me new cleats, and I came back and I was still starting, but I wasn't too wide out. I was at tight end and shit. So now I'm like, all right, bro. Now I'm like, I'm down here with the big guys. Like, all right, bro. Like, that's where I initially learned how to do a little bit of O-line and shit. You feel me? So, season go through and I'm at tight end. They had one play for me, like a tight end pop pass. Like I block for a little bit, then I just run up and I just stand there, and then the quarterback dump it off to me. They ain't never run that bitch for me though. Like in game, I've never gotten the ball like for real. I've always been like cold, like I'm an X Factor type of player, but I've never really had chances to do anything with the ball type shit. Like for real. So if I was to get the ball at any time in this story, I was a robot type shit. Like I had juke moves and shit like that, but I wasn't getting the ball. So I'm like, that's automatically kicking in. Like I would have had to warm up first. At first, I'm just running through niggas. Like, all right, bro, y'all not taking me down type shit. But yeah. So see, a couple games go on now. My Rainbow Beach team, and for any of my, listen teammates, my former teammates that might end up listening, y'all can't lie, we was not good, bro. I mean, and we was good, but we just couldn't win. That's what it was, bro. That's what it was. Like it was either the coaches. We didn't really have like good coaching staff type shit, and we also didn't have like. Okay, so defense was never the problem. We just couldn't put points on the board. And at the time, we was blaming it on the quarterback, Chris over and over because, it was seeming like he was throwing picks almost every other play type shit. But in reality, like, he didn't really have nobody to depend on type shit. I mean, yeah, to really rely on. So, So basically, they got to still recruiting, and we stayed over east. So we getting all the and like I said, by elementary school that I went to was Horace Mann type shit. So we was just like, all right, So one day, and back in my elementary school day, we did like school rivalries and shit, but it didn't really have nothing between the people type shit. Like it was certain people in the schools that might have been really in a rivalry with some niggas from the other school, but everybody else was really like, chill, kick it. You go to that school, okay, I go to this school. Cool, we kick it. Okay, so the next time, after I think after like our first game or something, or not even really our first game, like our first scrimmage for real, before the season even started type shit. Before our scrimmage came up, they told us we had weigh-ins like the next week. So they spent that whole week on the recruit, and they went and got some cold. I ain't gonna lie, them niggas was cold, bro. Them niggas came and put our team on a. I ain't gonna say they put them on a pedestal, but they took us like they helped everybody reach a level that they could reach for the type shit. Like we was really at this point getting our potential. Like so, he went to go grab some niggas from Boucher, which was at the time the rival school for Horace Mann. But I'm not knowing that all this shit. So we chilled and shit, and then when they get there, when they join the team, niggas ain't asking. I mean, we ask eventually what school you go to, but we don't care type shit. So, we just, and it was like 4-1, but they was all decent. So they instantly came, that during that practice, they had, they got instantly put into the starting line. Like we had a new running back, a new wide out. I think we had a backup quarterback, and like the other nigga was able to do everything for real, but they was trying to make him, I think, another quarterback, something like that. But yeah, then we had to hit against each other, which helped niggas get a little bit tougher and all this shit. And by the time weigh-in came in, we had a decent team, and then some more niggas just kept adding up before like the season officially started. So we was building up a good team for real. Like we had a decent quarterback, we had a decent receiving core type shit. We had a lot of egos, and at this time, I ain't gonna say we was all hotheads, but it was easier to get into fights back then than it was now type shit. Like especially at football practice with these niggas that you don't even know for real. So yeah, we was just a lot of egos colliding and put up in one one small park district. It's like every game we get to. We haven't now. We having good games. Like it's good. It was good games and shit. But we but at the end result, we end up losing back. Probably get blew out or like something like that. But it'd be a good game the whole game until a couple interceptions or some small turnovers, and everybody gets to thinking, getting in their feelings and shit. Then we fall apart and shit like that. Things of that nature. So I'm throughout this whole park district journey, I only played I think 1 year. I don't think I played my 8th grade yet. But throughout this whole park journey, it was just like man, what was I finna say? It was just like this. This is my first time really getting acclimated with football type shit. Now the season was long. The season was long. It went from summertime to damn near wintertime. But yeah, it was long, so I had time to get acclimated and shit, and And at this time, they was doing like, it wasn't really a major thing, but the high school coaches will go and recruit, kids from park districts and shit, things of that nature. Yeah. So, fast forward past all that, my quarterback told me, he was like, "Yeah, I gotta not literally a scholarship, but us being in elementary school, talking to a high school coach, and they talking about they want us to come play for their team and shit like that." So he told me he got a scholarship for Perspective, which is the school I ended up going to, type shit. So, which is insane because I talked to the same coach he talked to, but it wasn't on it was on some gonna play for us type shit, but it wasn't. I don't think they were serious for real. It was just some to fill the roster spot in type shit. Okay, so I'm like, all right, I'm not going, because at this game I wasn't. I really had a good game on defense at this point in time. I was making shit known on defense instead of offense type shit. At this point, I didn't want the ball. I wasn't really ready type shit. So graduating all this shit, 8th grade passed and all that. I wasn't playing. I was just focused on the basketball team, 8th grade, and I ended up playing some of my teammates from the football team in 7th grade that went to Boucher. I ended up, I didn't play this basketball game I was talking about. We listed a basketball story. This is the game where I got suspended and we lost I think we won about 1 point because the best 3 players on our team came at halftime from one of the other games and came back and won the game type shit. So yeah, but so we was already kicking in pool and shit, but that was next step, what we finna do type shit. We getting ready for high school, ready to be freshmen and shit. So initially, like I said, I was supposed to go in my basketball story. I was supposed to go to Hyde Park, things of that nature, because we was already planning who going to what school, who we had this time to do all this, pick what schools you want to go to and try to get accepted to and all this shit. So I had got accepted into Hyde Park and I'm supposed to go to Hyde Park, but somehow, some way, I end up going to Perspectives, and come to find out later, my mama already wanted us to go to Perspectives, before, the same year I started playing football. She wanted to go to Perspectives for 7th grade. She was trying to transfer us type shit, because 7th grade, that's when everybody started really leaving, because that's when all the charter schools start opening up elementary, 7th and 8th grades, because they was really high schools, but they start having 7th and 8th grade, so their kids could just graduate from 8th grade and go to high school, schools like Gary Coleman and shit like that. So everybody was leaving Horace Mann and go be at Gary Coleman Elementary or some shit like that. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm glad I stayed. So yeah, and it turned out that they not only did my OG want us to go there, but they ended up the head coach, the same coach I was talking to, or one of the coaches from up there was they somehow they got my mom and there and wanted her to go up there type shit, wanted us to come up there type shit. So I'm just scoping it around, and at this time I asked my quarterback at the time, you going you finna think about going to respective and shit. He told me he wasn't. So I'm like, damn, I'm finna go up there, but type shit. But I ain't really want to go. Like it was a charter school. I'm fresh out of CPS with hella freedom. I get that bitch. This feel like a jail. I'm talking about. I ain't know what was going on, bro. Shit was so depressing my freshman year. I had no point but to be a trouble kid, bro. Okay, so then we get to freshman year. Okay, so freshman year, I'm already thinking like I'm already on a team type shit because they told me they brought me here type shit. So, but obviously that's not how it works because high school, that's a different ball game. Like, and at this time, like I think after my class, like after my high school class or 8th grade class, that's when everybody started to get small again. Like the classes before my 2018 elementary school class or my 2022 high school class, bro, everybody was like tall. Like you could tell the height difference between the grades. Now it seemed like the motherfucker might see somebody short like a freshman, like be a senior type shit. Like, no, you ain't no telling now. But yeah, so at this time, we all practicing. And the thing with perspective is like there's 3 different campuses, but all of them, we all got the same like football team. So it's hella niggas out here, like it's 100 of us type shit. And it's only fucking 11 positions for real. On it's 11 positions on both sides of the ball. So everybody can't be in the game at the same time type shit. So we get to trying to shut down and shit, trying out to figure out what's going on. And I guess I wasn't the only nigga that got recruited to go to Perspective, which I thought I was. I thought I was cold and shit like that. But it was other niggas who played Park District, but they wasn't they weren't in my division though. It was some of the players from teams that at the end of the year when they do the award ceremonies and championships coming up and shit, we in the stands watching these niggas play, not even knowing that I'm finna be on the football team in high school with these niggas type shit. Okay, so initially, like our freshman team was cold, and then when they had it, but so they did it like freshman team, freshman team was all freshmen, and then JV was the freshmen and sophomores, and then varsity was juniors and seniors, but with some of the good sophomores, basically. And you had to be extra cold to get called up to varsity as a freshman type shit. This was when this shit was feeling real, like before the classes, before all the good superstars went out type shit. So we they trying to figure out what they want to do with me type shit, because at this point I had to play offense and defense, but I'm not big to stand out on defense, and they haven't really seen too much of me on offense type shit. So I told them I play wide receiver because that was my natural position. But turns out it was 10,000 fucking wide receivers. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, cool. But in the midst of all this, I'm not even tripping on like football for real, because whole time school blowing me. I'm a freshman, so I'm not really like expecting no tick for real. Plus, I just started playing football like 2 years ago at this point, so I'm not really experienced like everybody else. So I would put my faith in everybody else instead of having me on the field type shit. So I was really like just a team player at this point, being like a morale for the background type shit. I accepted my bench role, because once you sitting on a bench in football, bro, unless you like quick second string, your ass not getting in the game. So I'm chilling, shit like that. And I don't know, throughout the season, shit just got progressively better. Like we had a quarterback. Like I'm talking about nigga rocking same hairstyle as me and everything. And at this point, I had my fuckboy mohawk at this point, or the Odell. That's what it was called back then. But I had one of them joints, and he had one too. He was like, damn, what position you play? You play quarterback? I'm like, shit. I'm like, nah, I play wide receiver. He's like, oh shit. He's like, oh shit, offense safe, boy, we gonna fight for that spot. So I'm like, oh, okay. Shit, I ain't never thought about playing quarterback, right? So kind of insane, because freshman year go through, we end up going No, I ain't gonna say, we ain't gonna skip right to that. Freshman year go through, and why, I guess one day, the me and the freshmen on my team, they go to my school. We had practice one day, and it got canceled. Like the outside practice was canceled. And for those who don't know, like early in football, I don't know if it's like still now, but I guess for certain schools, like when you cancel outside practice, like to be in the field type shit, one, you either go home or y'all have practice in the building, like in a weight room type shit. So us being freshmen, we can't miss, and they was already deeming us as like future captains type shit for when we get to becoming sophomores and we got to run JV and shit like that. So I'm like, all right, that's cool, bro. So I guess throughout this time was when my one coach, the lineman coach, actually, the O-line coach, he was just, I don't know what it was, but I guess like he seen my connection he seen how basically all the freshmen from that school was connected type shit, and how we could, we interact with the other freshmen from the other school. And that's what my boy Nate was in at this point. Like Nate was the first nigga that actually, like, I don't think he got recruited with them with perspectives, but he said he played football beforehand, which I mean, he loved, nigga got a diehard football fan. So I wouldn't really say he didn't play. Like, who am I to tell him that type shit? But yeah, he was my nigga Nate he wasn't cold, but he was decent for, he was decent for how he was at the time. Eventually he got better and shit. Everybody got better, but yeah. So middle through like freshman year, they get to realizing, like, we got a vibe and all this shit and all that. So they start trying to implement us in, like, at this time, like this middle of the season type shit, like varsity, they decent, but they not like, we can make changes type shit. So they get to trying to implement people. Then they got a scrimmage in the varsity, like, to see where everybody at type shit. So they just throwing me out there. Like, I'm just out there. Like, I might get it. I might go to receiver one play. I might go to corner the next play. Like, I might play linebacker. Like, I'm just out there, lost as hell. Like, and then they calling plays and shit. Like, but in Park District, I didn't, all these plays, the name calling and shit, I ain't learned all that. I'm like, all right, bro, we got certain plays where I know what the fuck I got to do, and I'm done type shit. So now he calling plays, and it's a point where, like, he trusting it. And it was really fucked up on my behalf, because none of the other freshmen threw off like I was. And I was like, I had potential, but I just was not there. Like, it wasn't there. Like, I needed at least a couple months to have a coach or a trainer by my side on the football shit, which I never had. I really was just out there doing shit this whole experience. Okay, so like middle of freshman year, like coming towards the end of freshman year, we end no, okay, I keep going skipping towards the end. But in the middle of freshman year, bro, so basically they started grooming me for, like, I guess the quarterback for a freshman year was like, he was done playing, or he kept getting in trouble, or he was gonna start campaigning or some shit. He was just basically done with this shit, basically, because, this time freshman team we wasn't like winning every game. We only had 9 type shit. So yeah, they started grooming me a little bit, trying to teach me how to throw a little bit and shit. They started grooming me to get ready to play quarterback, right? For the sophomore season, right? So I played like 1 or 2, got a couple snaps at quarterback in my freshman year. I ain't gonna say they ain't go horrible, but they ain't go as best as they could, which, I mean, I didn't expect it. We still end up winning games and shit like that, but it was like, I realized my strengths and weaknesses a little bit, as I was getting comfortable with, taking snaps from under the center type shit. So after that summer from freshman year going into sophomore year, we had summer practice and all this stuff. all the time. My freshman year, I had summer school, so it was really beneficial because if I didn't have summer school, I was not gonna make it to that school every day for practice and all that shit. So yeah, so we started doing weightlifting and all this stuff for the summer, and they just deemed me like, all right, you gonna be, basically the coaches was telling me like, you start a quarterback next year type shit. Like you on JV, you the starting quarterback. We finna get you right, all that type shit. They like, we ain't really know what to do with you, but you got the height. You obviously got the type of like the connection with the players and shit. So it's like we might as well, give you a try type shit. So the whole summer I'm practicing, a little bit of quarterback. Like all my people that I used to go to field with outside of the school, they just like, nah, you quarterback now, you play that. They helping me practice a little bit. So I'm like, all right, cool. And once they getting more comfortable, they getting comfortable with me as quarterback. I'm getting comfortable being back there. I go to practice next day. I wouldn't say I necessarily showed out, but I did way better than a nigga who ain't never threw a ball before would do type shit. So I'm, all good and all that stuff. And then it started looking like, everybody was really, because my team, like this, okay, the varsity team, like they didn't win no championship. Now they made it to the playoffs and shit, but they got bounced out like first round type shit. So, and we used to enjoy all them games because back then that's when they used to play niggas like Simeon, like, and we had all the night games, Simeon, Lane Tech, and just because we was freshmen and shit, they let us ride on the bus. We just had to have our jerseys on and shit. So me and the freshman crew was clicking it and shit every night, every game. Y'all going to the game today? Yeah, I'm going. Shit like that, just outside kicking it with the team. So yeah, they won. They didn't really win nothing. Like they didn't really establish nothing, but they had good players. But the whole end goal for the team wasn't there. It wasn't accomplished. So yeah, I started. So in the summertime, I'm the only sophomore quarterback at this time. They getting me ready, but they got me running repetitions with the senior quarterbacks. And I'm talking about, at this time, I'm talking about like summertime after workouts when we start doing 7-on-7s, getting ready for the season type shit. So, and I ain't gonna lie, fresh. They had us fresh as hell in them 7-on-7. I'm talking about compression shirt with no sleeves, with we had our own shirts, and we only had the helmet on. I was out there looking like a noob. I was decent though. I ain't gonna lie. My real welcome to high school moment happened. Like before they even put me in that quarterback, they put me in that corner, and I had to guard the other school, like one of the receivers. But the nigga was like the nigga was standing tall over me. Like at this time, I wasn't even tall for real, but these niggas like, and I'm small, so I'm looking like easy bait. Plus, I guess he could tell in my face that I'm a freshman or some shit. I don't fucking know. So, and I'm lined up, and what made it worse was I'm lined up right in front of my sideline, so I can't make no excuse. But as soon as the ball come off the line, buddy grabbed me right in the shirt, jam me, pushed me right to my. He gets moving up moving me right to the sideline. While one of the junior receivers, and he turned out to be cold like later on. But one of the junior receivers, he was like, hey, you petty as hell. That's a freshman, boy. He don't even play football. He like, do that shit to me. I like shit. And dude was like, yeah, shit, get in the game. I ain't gonna lie. I tagged folks in. I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, you got that one, bro. Oh yeah, bro. He just fucked me up. Type shit. So, he got to get back for me and shit. And it was like, then they started putting me in that quarterback. They was like, we was up at this point. Like it was later on, we finna get ready to leave and shit. So they put all the freshmen in. They're like, let's see what the freshman team time. I say, all right, it's our time, boys. It's our time. Go out there. He ain't do nothing. Like we moved the ball a little bit, but we ain't scoring nothing. And then it was just like, we could just see where everybody was at type shit. And we had a bright future, but then, this was like, then sophomore year was slowly but surely, sophomore year was beginning to start. And in my school, like perspectives at the time started in August. So, and I wasn't ready to go back to school. Plus I was getting back acclimated, because at this time in the basketball story, this is when I was traveling from, coming from my school to go to Bowen to actually, play basketball and shit while I'm actually still playing basketball and football. So, I started linking back up with the people I graduated with 8th grade, and we all just decided one day, like, sure, we finna try to transfer to the same school, which ended up being Bowen. Now, my boy Nate and Trey was I didn't make them. They played a one-on-one, like a football one-on-one with me at quarterback to see what school I was gonna go to type shit. Which every time I say it, it sounds more insane. But yeah, they really did that. And I ain't gonna lie, Trey won. I ended up going to Bowen, but I didn't do perspective dirty. I went to go get them a quarterback that was better than me at the time. So they ended up getting like some decent pieces to where, like, if everybody would have stayed, it could have been nice. But I had to get the fuck up out of there because I was not growing like I was supposed to. So yeah, I ended up transferring to Bowen, and then it was still summertime. They was doing football practice and shit, and I wasn't too late because everybody wanted suited up. Like, they was at this time, Bowen was doing like the you gotta earn your equipment type of thing. Like, niggas can't just join the team and not come to practice and think they finna go get equipment when school's starting, all that shit. So I'm like, we up there early, and wasn't a lot of people up there at first. If for those who know, Bowen don't have a lot of students. It's a couple hundred, like, it probably, you might get like 200 to some, like, no more than like 300 kids in that bitch, for real. But so yeah, I'll pull up. I mean, I not pull up. We pull up. Me, Trey, and shit, the person y'all know now as Jason Visionary. We pull up, for the football shit. That's how I first. This is not nobody's first time playing football except Jason shit. So this was really the beginning of his football journey too. But he was with us, and there wasn't a lot of people there. Plus, so like, it wasn't really like too bad. Plus, some niggas wasn't that cold for real. So we get up there, and I'm routing everybody up type shit. Like, they up there, like, I don't want to say they was dicking, but they was, yeah, bro, he cold, bro. He got it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You guys who in, bro? I'm telling you, I'm a sophomore. The coach come out, what position do you play? And I'm shit. I just left from perspective. I was literally just playing quarterback. They said, oh yeah, they had a quarterback already, but he wasn't like cold. So I get to going up against dude, and I'm dotting it. I'm like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do at quarterback. I'm showing the niggas like, yeah, bro, I've been snapping the last summer, like for early this summer type shit. And because the other dude was a senior and he'd been there, I think they stayed with him simply off that. Plus, the head coach at the time, he was too, like, he was scared of putting in new people that he didn't find on his own. If you weren't one of his guys, he wasn't putting you in type shit. So basically, my sophomore year, I'm dominating the seniors and shit, and we was barely getting in the game. Niggas might put us in the game for like kickoff and kick return and shit like that. And I'm getting mad at the coach, like, you already know what's going on, like, bro, put us in the game, bro. Type shit. So at this time, I ain't gonna say this is when I gained the ego, but it was like I was already done. At this point, I was feeling a fake experience. Like, I was done with the whole. Let me change mics real quick. Okay, I'm back. I had to change mic. That bitch gonna die. But yeah. So at this point, like, I spent already a year, being demoted on my fucking park district team. Barely getting the ball and shit. Then I went from that to going to freshman year. They didn't know what the fuck to do with me, and then I turned into a quarterback somehow. My freshman year end record was 7-2. Yeah, too. So that is all that. I didn't win all 7 games, but niggas contributed. You feel me? Like, it was one of him. But yeah, just so then I'm going to Bowen. Everybody hyping me up and shit. Now I'm feeling myself because at this time it was getting to where, like, I'm getting the hang of this shit. Like, nobody can really fuck with me. Plus, I'm getting taller. Like, growth spurt hitting. Like, all that shit. So it was really just like, come on, bro. And at this point, I was feeling like I was one of the best on the team type shit. So I'm just like, so I guess you could really say this when the ego did kick. But he didn't really play like he played us our sophomore year, but it wasn't really till like middle of the sophomore year, but he realized like, nigga, we already ain't been winning shit. They already ain't been winning shit like Bowen prior with the same people. Like, you got new people to put niggas in that type shit. And I wasn't the only one who came my sophomore year either. Like, it was some other niggas who came from top tier football high schools, sort of kind of like I was, but they came over there and they was dominating and shit. And once they came, and that's when it broke through the door. Like, he might got to change the lineups up. He might got to change his lineups up type shit. So I ended up starting at wide receiver and a little bit of tight end. Didn't really play defense at this time. I ain't gonna lie. I think I played a little bit of linebacker, but after they seen, me playing receiver, they was like, you don't even gotta play defense. We got other people play defense type shit. You do that. You focus on your position. We had got a new quarterback and we had got a new running back. Them niggas was carrying, along with, I ain't gonna say along with my help. I might have had 3 catches this year, sophomore year. I just getting acclimated though, just getting in that field, getting used to being an actual playmaker for a football team for real, like actually being a vital part of the offense type shit. So I'm getting used to that. That was really all what my sophomore year was. So then junior year came up, and I was already like, my progression was I spent all my VC in the right places, and my progression went up tremendously. I became I went from well, I felt like I was the best on the team. I was really like the 6th, 7th best on the team. And yes, niggas do. I was one of them niggas who calculated who was really better than me and who wasn't in all aspects of the game. So so at that time it was like 7 niggas better than me. But when I came back junior year, I was, I think, if not the best, I was top 3. Yeah, I was top 3. I was like the 3rd best on the team type shit. I was the number 1 receiver type shit. But and then junior year happened. We was balling and shit. But at this time, I was still doing basketball. Bowen was when I initially started openly playing both type shit. Knowing what I'm doing, what I going on. Coaches knowing I'm playing both. I wasn't the only nigga who played both sports, but that's when it really started. I wasn't really picking in between on which one I wanted to do that yet type shit. I was doing both. But yeah, we was doing we had scrimmages and shit coming up, and the scrimmages when I really showed, proved to myself and to the coaches that we got shit to work on. We got shit to work with. I mean, we get to going against, I think we went against CVS and shit, and I'm talking about, we dotting their ass up. They can't fuck with nobody on our team. I'm cooking the nigga guarding me. I'm cooking his ass so bad. And then, matter of fact, that's a whole different year. That's senior year. Okay, so yeah, junior year, because junior year was COVID. Yeah, we wasn't really doing that. We had 5 to 7 games or something like that, and we was decent, but they wasn't doing the playoffs. I mean, we was cold that year, but they weren't doing playoffs that year, so we couldn't make it to playoffs, but we definitely was qualified if it was a playoffs type shit. So then the seniors graduated. Now this is when me, Trey, Jason, it's really our time to be the captains and be the leaders. We wasn't the main 3. It was, of course, it's other players on there that who served as captains and played vital parts in the offense and things of that nature. But that's a lot of people to name for no reason. So So my senior year, the end of junior year, we were starting to talk about our senior year. Who was doing what and how to start getting our team ready for next year and shit. So basically, the coach was telling me this is my time to, it's my time to lock in on quarterback and shit. You feel me? And I was fucking with it. I'm that's what I came to play anyway for real. I came to make a name at quarterback for real. which I could have really did, which I should have did. Now that I'm really like thinking about it and sticking with it for real. My football career over, so I could really talk about the whole what should have been, the things of that nature. But yeah, I think we was doing scrimmages and shit, this summer. That's South Shore, and then this is my quarterback, my elementary, Park District quarterback, Chris came in, so he ended up going to South Shore type shit. So in the midst of, we trying to figure out what our team gonna be like for next year. We got dogs coming in. We got and then us being captains, we dogs off rip. So it's like, we set the tone for the team type shit. So basically, it was because once the coach told me like I could play quarterback, it's my idea to play quarterback. Then that's when Trey was like, "Nah, I want to play quarterback." Yeah, it really turned into a whole competition thing, and I was winning. I was winning the whole quarterback debate thing because like the whole school was calling me QB1. Everybody was, all the receivers and shit. Like everybody on the team was wanting me more at quarterback, like type shit. But I was also the tallest nigga on the team, so at this point, it's like it wasn't making sense. So I'm ended up having a one-on-one conversation with the coach, like after practice, like after everybody gone type shit, so we could just talk. And I'm telling him if Trey could be, if he could show that he could be a decent quarterback or something like that, I'd gladly go play receiver because I am the tallest nigga on the team. He gonna need somebody to throw it to. Instead of me throwing the ball to all short people shorter than me, why not give somebody a tall target, a deep threat to go to type shit. So we had on a 7-on-7. I started off as the quarterback, and off rip, I'm talking about first 2 throws out the game, the ball went wherever that motherfucker wanted to go. One of them turned into a pick. I'm like, at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking up at 7-on-7, and it's like everybody watching our shit too. Like, I'm like, all right, bro, go ahead. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm like, all right, Trey, yeah, you got it, bro. So I just yell across the field. Like, I yell across the field. I'm running to the coach. I'm like, yeah, Trey, you got that quarterback shit, bro. I'm gonna just come over here, type shit. So we switch spots. He go to quarterback. I go to receiver, type shit. That's all. The first couple throws for him, he tried to feel everybody out, and I'm telling him like, I just go up to him. I go up to him and I'll tell him like, bro, throw me the ball, bro. We just switched for a reason, bro. Let me show you. I'm telling him like, let me show you what the fuck we could really be doing, type shit. So he was, I was getting like niggas was throwing me like we was doing 7-on-7. I started getting double teamed and shit. Like, but before that, like he started throwing the ball, telling me I had 3 back-to-back touchdowns, type shit. Like niggas was not fucking with me, type shit. So we had the back-to-back touchdowns and shit, and then we had back-to-back touchdowns and shit. So then they started double teaming me, and I started bossing their ass in a double team type shit. And my quarterback from my Park District team was with the quarterback for South Shore and the safety. So at this same time, I'm realizing that's him, but I'm like, you see me, so we realizing it's each other type shit. We already spoke and all this shit. Like we knew we was gonna see each other type shit. We spoke. Well, we didn't know we was gonna see each other, but when we did, we knew like, oh, man, I know I just play with this nigga type shit. So yeah, it was a friendly, competitive game. We won, but we beat them in the summertime and shit. And then we was getting ready for, they started making it a weekly thing. Like every Thursday, we was gonna go to run scrimmages at their school and shit. And we weren't the only school; it was multiple schools. So at this time, we get basically 4 days to, because Fridays was our walkthroughs. Like niggas wasn't really doing too much on Fridays, because we had to get ready for when we start having games on Saturday and shit. So we have Monday through Wednesday to get our shit acclimated. Plus all the time outside of school that we spend together to get our shit acclimated. So by the time the next 7-on-7 came up, they already thought they had like a plan for us type shit to stop us type to stop us type shit. And it was not looking good. Like I was cooking their ass again. But my other wild out, he just everybody started stepping up. Like once Trey started getting the ball around for real, he realized he ain't have to just only throw it to me and throw it to everybody getting in shit. it was getting glorious at this moment. So then, they enter us into I think our coach entered us, or we not enter us, but we got entered. Like my team, the Boeing team, got entered into like this some football tournament, like a 7-on-7 tournament, and the winners, like we was the only, we weren't the only low school, but we was one of them schools, like it was hella upper division schools in this tournament, but we was one of the lower division schools, but we was on some like rising up type stuff. That's why we was in there. Like the teams that was bad but had, you got to look out, but they got people you got to look out for type shit. So our first game, I think we go against Phillips, which was fucking insane. I don't know why they fucking did that to us. They set us up for failure. Like, so we playing Phillips and shit, and first game on, like, at this, like, I'm gonna let y'all know now, Phillips end up winning the whole fucking tournament. But like already prior to this, bro, these niggas are state champions. They do this football shit for real. Like Phillips was a school. If you hear a nigga say they going to Phillips football, that nigga had to be cold type shit. Like it was one of them. Or how Simeon is with basketball, that's how Phillips was with football back in the day, bro. But yeah, so I'm tussling one of them niggas. I'm because we had our coach did us dirty. Everybody else had compressions on and shit, or they was fresh as hell. We gotta wear these fat ass NCs and jerseys while it's fucking 80 degrees outside, and I'm just like, all right, bro. So one nigga took advantage of us having the jerseys on. Our jerseys big as hell. So buddy gets to, he trying to guard me. At this time, I had this look in my eye like I'm finna cook their ass. Like I was already cooking them a little bit. I just want to bend the ball, and I was getting frustrated and shit. And when I used to get frustrated, I used to jump on the field. I used to throw little pouts, a little temper tantrum, like, bro, throw me a fucking ball, shit like that. But yeah, he tried to hem me up. He didn't even try to hem me up. No, he hemmed me up, but I grabbed him too, and he thought he was finna like little boy me basically, and I damn near like yanked his ass to the ground. Like we was just tussling, like shirt to shirt tussling, and I ended up ripping this shit. I ripped this shit. We just get talking crazy and shit. Then I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm on some, that shit don't bother, that shit don't faze me. So he lined up with me again. I burnt his ass. I cooked his ass right off the line, but I ain't get the ball. I just had to show him, like, I started talking my shit. I showed him, like, yeah, bro, you go to Phillips don't mean you can fuck with me, fam. Type shit, shit like that. We end up losing, so it wasn't really like, but we like that earned people respect for us though. Like to see that we was out here really well. We was putting it was a good ass 7-on-7 at first. Anything like we were like I said, our team wasn't big, bro. We didn't have a lot of people, so they was able to sub niggas out and all this shit. We came in here with fucking only 7 to play, with only 9 to play both sides type shit. So we wasn't really like, because 7-on-7, our linemen can't come and they make up shit damn near the rest of the team, like the linemen and all the other niggas that's not skill guys for real. So so we just was like, we got everybody respect from that and shit. And then I ran into a nigga, I guess one of the niggas I went to elementary school with. He didn't graduate with us though. He just ended up going to the same elementary school I went to. He ended up going to Phillips and shit. And he was like, they run it back and shit. But you can't run the ball in fucking 7-on-7. So I wasn't really worried about his ass for real. But yeah, they was trying to dog us and shit. Then after we played Phillips, they went to go play. I forgot who they played, but we ended up playing Lane Tech, which was another insane game. Like, why would y'all make us play Lane Tech? And the tournament was like 3 days. It was like a 3-day tournament, some shit. So we lost to fucking what you call it? To fucking Lane Tech. So we took the first day. We weren't mad or nothing. We just was disappointed. Like, y'all started us off. They wanted us to lose. They put us against 2 of the biggest schools in this bitch type shit. So we come back the next day. We got a little bit more comfortable with the clothing. You don't got to wear these big ass jerseys. We had compression shirts the next day, basically, type shit. And they lined us up against Westinghouse. And Westinghouse, they was never like Westinghouse is a good school, but I don't think they was known for football. So we was because we was routing their ass up. We was like, Westinghouse wasn't fucking with us. We beat Westinghouse, and then we went to go. I think we went to go play Jones College Prep or some shit like that. We fucked them up. They didn't have no point of being there at all. The only Noble school in the tournament full of CPS schools, they didn't deserve to be there at all. So we got their ass up out of there. And then, we just enjoyed our shit for the rest of the day. And since we won both our matches, we ended up having a third one. And they put us against Phillips again. So it was just like, what the fuck? So we lost to Phillips one again. But this time it was closer. Like, this time it wasn't even close. Like, nigga, they shut our shit all the way down this time. So we lost. We just sat back, relaxed. Came back the next day. I think we played Butler. We only had one game that day because they already knew. Like at this time, we was 2-2. I think. No. We was 2-2 throughout the total tournament. But it was teams that went undefeated and shit. So we weren't really the top 3 teams in the tournament type shit. So after our game, I think we beat a Butler. College prep or something like that. One of them college preps, but I don't think it was necessarily Butler. But we beat one of them and basically got the fucking pass. We wasn't winning. We wasn't finna watch the championship game, but we weren't watching that shit. So yeah, we got up out of that. Senior year. Then that's when everybody started getting ready for the official season of senior year, and we was nice and all that shit. Season was long. Throughout the season. I know I started off playing I started off in the summertime getting a quarterback, moved to receiver, and then I got implemented on defense. Oh yeah, my bad, y'all. Somebody had called me, fucking up, disturbing the recording. But like I was saying, I got implemented on defense. At this time, I was in a 6'1" frame. It's like 170 probably, and they put me at DN type shit. So which was ended up good. It ended up working because I was playing DN. Like I ended up telling them I played DN in fucking in Park District type shit. And what was crazy was I was talking to our coach one day, and he was telling me how my perspectives coach used to be one of his old coaches type shit. I don't even know how true that is, but I really believed it type shit because he knew everything about my fucking coach like it was his coach. So I don't know. But yeah, so I started playing, both sides of the ball. And really, it was really getting to a point where I was not getting took out the game type shit. Like it was certain people, everybody wasn't playing every side of the ball, but it was certain people who played offense and defense and took breaks on special teams. It was certain people who played special teams and only with subs on offense and defense. It was people who played offense with no defense or special teams. You get it. I was one of the only people to play all 3 sides of the field type shit, and I didn't really like. Okay, so one thing about me throughout my whole football career was I'm not really I was never really a big hitter type of guy. I don't know what it was, but when it came, I used to half-ass tackle, knowing I got the ability to really be a dog. I just didn't really have it in me. I don't know if I was scared about something, but something about this whole tackling and hitting people thing, I just didn't want to put myself in danger type shit. And I think that was really the basketball player in me coming out. Because on a basketball court, I'll have no problem diving for the fucking ball. I'm trash talking. I'm damn near getting into fights on the court. I'm really the enforcer on the basketball court. But when it comes to the field, I'm not diving for catches. I'm not diving to make tackles. I'm not, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not putting myself in no type of uncomfortable predicament on the football field. So football season senior year go through. We getting our I say it was hella stats collected. I don't know the numbers for sure, but yards, touchdowns, sacks for loss, fumble recovery, fumbles, forced fumbles, and so I was basically They're basically out there. Like the whole number nine from Bowen was on niggas' radars type shit. And I wasn't the only one. I'm not gonna make it seem like I was the only dog on the team. It's really like 4, 5, 6, 7 of us on the whole team that was just dogs. Like, insane. But yeah. So then a couple games like towards the end, like seeing yeah. Like this whole senior year, we weren't thinking about college offers and all this stuff, but we knowing like that shit supposed to come later on and shit. So season go through, last couple games and all that shit, and we get the film and all that shit, and like let me I'm tweaking, I'm missing and shit in between. Okay, so in between this, like in between senior year, I had ended up getting a scholarship from Eastern, which was my first one. I had my first scholarship from Eastern, and it was really to be a quarterback. I got it from I had from one of the people who used to, I don't want to say like my trainer, but he trained me when I was like learning how to play quarterback or be a quarterback for real. Like he basically hit me with, I seen some shit in you. Like, we keep it going. You keep going at this shit, bro. By the time I was 21, 20, I would have been a nice, tough type of shit. So I would have been a tough quarterback type shit. So I'm like, all right, that ain't bad. Feeding me shit like that. Like, I was basically, because I was trying to gain weight. I was trying to use my legs. I was really supposed to stop growing at 5'9". Once I got past 5, once I hit 5'10", my body started, like, it wasn't growing weird, but like my knees and legs and all that shit, I was starting to have constant growing pains and shit now. And now it's like I was just basically overgrowing my my limit type shit. So yeah, senior year started ending, started closing down. Then that's when the offers really started rolling in after the football season. A couple people on the team ended up getting offers, but I had a couple offers. I had a couple offers, but what really fucked me up with the offers was my grades. And so ended up because I said I went to summer school freshman year, and when I was at Perspectives, I passed summer school and all that shit, but the principal didn't release my transcripts till my senior year, which fucked up my whole senior year. Like, when it came to graduation time, I damn near couldn't graduate. I almost damn near couldn't graduate because of that shit. Like, I had to make up a whole another fucking history class that I ain't take history since freshman and sophomore year. Like, I've been done with history for 2 years. Now I gotta randomly make up a history credit and shit. So it didn't make no sense to me, bro. But I guess because they didn't want me to leave Perspective, so the principal didn't let my shit go. And now when people be like, if I'm talking to people and I just randomly be like on Todd Grave, that's why I say that shit, because fuck Todd, Principal Todd, bro. But yeah. So after that we went to what you call it. I had got a couple offers and shit. I end up finding about this football league found me called the MSFL, Midwest Sprint Football League. The Sprint football, for those who don't know, is really regular football, but it's more fast paced, and everybody is under 200 pounds basically. Everybody was under. My bad, I had to pause a little bit, but everybody was under 100. Like, everybody was like 180 pounds less. 180 pounds. 180 pounds. 180 pounds was the most you could be to be on that team type shit. So I ended up getting, I ended up signing into a team in Indiana, playing football and shit. And with them, I gave them the whole same script I gave my high school coach when I transferred to Bowen. I really was telling him, like, I played a little bit of quarterback, I played receiver, got a little bit of DN in me type shit, like things of that nature. So basically, I got assigned to be, in my head, I got assigned to be a quarterback. I got assigned to be a quarterback. When in their mind, what they really signed me for, I got signed to play DN. So when I got there, and they was giving me the whole, let's see what you can do at quarterback thing. I ain't gonna lie, I froze under pressure. I was lined up with them white boys. The niggas showed me that this shit get real. And it was 7-on-7. I'm like, bro, I've been in this situation before. Why am I froze? Type shit. I don't know. It was just named like it was a different level. It wasn't high school. It was college now. So, I think it's like every level I've been on, my confidence had to restart and had to re-get it type shit. So the whole quarterback thing ain't work out. Then I ended up telling the offensive coach, like, yeah, bro, I don't even want to play quarterback. I was so discouraged after my first impressions, everything, and I was so discouraged and all that shit. And he was basically telling me, like, sometimes it's just gonna be that, and then that's when they told me, like, we never initially signed you to play quarterback. We have other quarterbacks. Plus, we don't have a starting quarterback, so you're no telling who's gonna do what. No, there's no starters, none of that. So I could basically, it was telling me I could have tried out for any position. When I tried to try out for my natural position, which is wide receiver. And I was certainly, like, for sure, you couldn't change my mind. I was better than half the receivers on the fucking team, but they never really gave me a shot type shit to really play receiver. The times I did, like when we was practicing and we had to run on ones and shit, I showed them, like, niggas can't really fuck with me type shit. Like, I don't know what it was about me. I think it was really the footwork that carried over from, all the basketball and baseball practice that led to me being, nice with getting off the line and, move my feet and route running and shit like that. But so one day it was just defensive day, and I was with a defensive coach, and they had me on the D line. They're doing one-on-ones on the D line, and I'm talking about first step. I'm cooking all they ass with one step out, and I'll come right back in, go right to the quarterback, got his ass going. They like, oh, so basically, like, after that performance, it came back to me, like, the coaches was telling me, like, hey man, we heard about your performance, on the D line, one-on-ones. And I swear to God, this is a true story. Like, bro, like, I never lied about nothing, this whole story. But it was just like, yeah, man, you they was like, you gotta stop. They was like, you're a star. It was like, I ain't gonna lie. It was like, you so far is the only starter we got on this team, basically. So I was geek. I was hyped. At this point, I was really looking forward to playing DN. I'm like, all right, I got the, I'm a superstar now. They fucking with me now. I'm not known as a nigga who can't throw no more. I'm now like nigga dog, nigga coach type shit. Plus, everybody telling me, like, not necessarily saying I got the perfect build, but I was a little bit younger. I was younger than almost everybody on the team. Like, it's college, so motherfuckers like 23, 24, 25, 22 type shit. And I was tall. I was like, this time I'm 6'2", 175, 165, something like that. I'm 6'2", got the lanky build frame type shit. So now it's like, you can't really, like, in this league that I was in, I was destined to be a star if I would have stayed type shit. So, I started D-line, not the quarterback. Season came around, and I was just, I made history because we was the first football team that college had type shit. So I became the first person to get a sack in that football team history, type shit. So we was like, so basically it was lining up. It was lining up to be a great college year for me, which it was. We went to the championship and shit. We didn't win. Sadly, we didn't win. We think we lost by like a touchdown. But yeah, I ended up quitting. I ended up quitting after my first season in college football because I just realized, like, it wasn't really. I started losing love for it towards the end. Like, when other people started just moving. They started moving random niggas to my position and shit, and we was already, like, the defense was carrying the fucking college team my first year. So it's like, why are we moving all these people to defense when y'all need to be figuring out what the fuck going on offense, basically? So we was confused. And what's another insane thing, because remember I told y'all a long time ago, me and Jason went to college and we played football together. So he he got a scholarship too. Um, to be honest, I don't remember how he got a scholarship because I think he got his shit after a baseball game, which we was projected. We did, like, when we signed with that school, they did want us to play football, baseball, and they wanted me to play basketball, type shit. So I was really gonna play all three, but I didn't know how the fuck that was gonna work. Plus, I wasn't the only nigga on the team who was supposed to play more than one sport over there. So I didn't know how they was gonna do it. Which it didn't look like they did, because our season ended up going through the whole fucking year. So, but they understood. So yeah, after that, I just left, and I really gave up on football. I quit, and started the pod, and this shit he is what he is right now. But I'm kind of rushing to end it. I'm kind of rushing to end it because people, calling me, talking about call them and things of that nature. So I want to see what's really going on in the life of other people today. But that's really good. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Football story, quick football story. Next, I might show y'all. I might give y'all a soccer story. These it might. I ain't gonna lie. It might be some videos for the basketball and the football story. Collabing with some of the people that are included in my football and basketball journey. And we'll get to that once we get to the video type shit. But yeah, it's your host, professional Yapanaga, the interviewer, signing out. I'm hanging this suit up for another day, another episode on another quest, on another day in a quest to change the world, conquer the world, change it for the better. Conquer the gentleman's takeover. The innovator is solo on this one, and will the innovator's progression towards taking over the world be valuable, or will it be subdued? Tune in next time to the Gems Podcast, X221 man, to see if we if the innovator and the visionary take over the world, and complete their goals and make the world a better place for all of us. Yeah, but that's really it. That wasn't my smoothest outro, but yeah. So yeah, with that, I love y'all. Peace. We out.